A brasstax presentation. Discretion advised.
What's going on, people? It's your boy. Yes, I said it's your boy. It's brasstax, baby. Giving you this quarantine content. The 4K content. How are you guys doing? How you guys holding up? With everything that's going on, how's quarantine for you people? Because I'll tell you how it is for me. All I'm doing is sitting here, eating popcorn, eating chocolates, eating pizzas, and watching movies and documentaries. Right now, for instance, I'm watching The Tiger King. I'm on episode 2, and I've got a feeling that this doc doesn't have a happy ending. I seriously recommend you guys watch it. It's must see. Yeah, and I gotta say, I think this pandemic has brought the crazy out of people, especially famous people. You see the shit Gal Gadot did last week with the whole Imagine song on her Instagram? Yeah, that shit was uncalled for. We didn't ask for it. You're sitting there in your $1 million mansion. Baby, we love you, but god damn, you screwed up. Now, I know it was well intentioned, but shit, imagine all the people. No, I don't want to imagine. I want to imagine myself surviving this shit. That's what I want to imagine, okay? I don't want to imagine anything else, okay? That was a bad move. Just shows me how out of touch these famous celebs are. Very self-serving bullshit. But because I love you and because I know it was well intentioned, she is not going to get my Idiot of the Week award. The person who's going to get my Idiot of the Week award is Madonna. Now this is shit I just can't unsee, okay? She is there on an Instagram video, right? Bathing, naked, right? Talking about, trying to be all spiritual and bullshit, talking about, oh, you know, this pandemic is terrible and blah, 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 and oh, it's God's way of getting even and all this other bullshit. Firstly, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. Madonna doesn't even look like Madonna anymore. You know what Madonna looks like? Madonna looks like some cosplay girl trying to play Madonna, where she's got the Madonna mask on and she stretched it out too much. That's what she looks like. Secondly, Madonna, look, I know you're not going to watch this. Ain't no one want to see your titties in 2020, right? I don't want to see, I got no interest in your boobies whatsoever. We saw it in Justify My Love back in the day, yeah? We don't want to see this shit now, okay? Just keep them shits covered. We don't stop sexualizing this bullshit. That's some desperate shit right there. Looking like the artist formerly known as in every which way. God damn, you get the Idiot of the Week award 100%. So I've been checking out Disney Plus, right? Going through the Star Wars movies and everything. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm really impressed with how good digital looks, you know. Really, really impressed. I totally understand. There's a lot of people I know who've gone from physical to digital only because it's more convenient, and to them the differences aren't that big. And that's something I'm definitely going to talk about in an upcoming video. So I watched Star Wars on Disney Plus, and I've got to say that The Force Awakens looks really, really good in 4K. Really good. So I wanted to see how the physical matches up with the digital. So the good news is it's a native 4K digital intermediate, which is always a plus, and it seems to be the trend these days. Right? You got HDR on physical, no Dolby Vision unfortunately, but you do get that on Disney Plus. You got the black bars, you got Dolby Atmos running at 136 minutes, and it's on a 66 gig disc, which in my opinion really isn't enough these days. You need to really trump that up to 100 gig disc, especially these movies. There's certain movies that need the 100 gig disc treatment, and I think this is one of them, along with pretty much every Star Wars movie. And it's out, I guess, now. Now guys, I really liked The Force Awakens. I thought it was good. I thought it had a great nostalgic feel, which was the intention, and a lot of people criticized it for it, but I had a really good time. It brought back memories, and I thought they set up the characters really well. I liked Kylo Ren in this. I thought he was just crazy enough and a little bit cagey. You know, he's a little bit reckless in this movie. And, you know, sometimes I think for a villain, him being a little reckless and a bit unpredictable makes him a little scarier. Do you know what I mean? He's just a little bit off. And I like that. I like that aspect. He's no Darth Vader, let's be honest. You know, he's no Darth Maul either. Let's just be honest about that shit too. But I thought he was pretty good. And then obviously the movies turned to shit after this, but I think this was a really, really good setup. And it's the best out of the three in my opinion. So let's talk about the transfer. Now, before we talk about the physical, let's talk about the digital. The digital pisses on the 1080p in every single way. This is a gorgeous looking 4K digital transfer. Sharp, detailed, vibrant, the HDR is on point. This is very similar to Rise of Skywalker in that sense. And the physical disc of this is slightly better. It's not a night and day difference, not by any stretch, but it's slightly better. You'd be forgiven into not noticing the difference at all. But it is there in movement. There's a little bit more detail on Han Solo, a little bit more detail in the woods where Kylo Ren and Rey are lightsaber dueling. There are some subtle differences and improvements on the 4K transfer, on the 4K Blu-ray. If the digital was walking down the road, the 4K Blu-ray would bump into him and they'll have a little argument, and the 4K Blu-ray might get the last word, but there's no violation there. Wrinkles, folds in the clothing are more prominent. The set pieces look more detailed, got that 4K shine to them, right? That 4K-age. The grooves and the dirt on the Millennium Falcon are far more pronounced than on a 1080p version. The explosions pack more of a punch because you're seeing more detail in the explosion. Kylo Ren's outfit, his mask, there's more texture there. Everything that you would expect from 4K is here, just like it is there on the digital. What I also will say about the 4K physical is that it packs more depth, just slightly more depth. It is noticeable there, especially in corridor scenes, movement in general. You have more of a three-dimensional pop. It's not a night and day difference, but if you're watching one after the other, you will notice it for sure. And Chewie's looking A1 as usual. See individual depth in the hair strands, the fur. You know I got to think for Chewie, I ain't gonna lie to you. So overall, a great detailed upgrade from the 1080p for sure, but only a few pubic hairs better than the 4K digital. Hey, so you want to know what the HDR is like? I'm gonna tell you. So you got Rey and you got Ben Solo right at the end of Skywalker. They're both looking at each other. They've just killed the Emperor together. But then Rey turns around and looks at Ben. Looks past Ben, almost behind Ben. Ben's looking at Rey thinking, why aren't you looking at me, baby? But she's not looking at him. She's looking behind him and she looks like she's seen a ghost. Guess what? Ben is slowly turning around to see what's behind him. And as he's turning around, all you hear is a right? And then it's Darth Vader back from the dead with his lightsaber, and guess what? He slices and dices them both up and goes the fuck home in this bitch. That's what the HDR is like. HDR is good in this. Punchy colors, it still remains somewhat neutral and muted in parts, but that's the way the movie's supposed to look. But goddamn, when it kicks in, does it kick in? Especially Rey and Ren fighting at the end, dueling with the lightsabers in the woods in the dark. God damn, the lightsabers never look so bright in this bitch. That's a pure implementation of HDR. You got the light of the lightsabers. You got the darkness of the woods around them. Shit looks amazing, guys. Panty dropping. If you're coming at this directly from the 1080p, you're going to notice a huge difference, especially with the wider color. There is a much wider color space at work here, and it's pretty significant just in the clothing, textures, outfits, the clothing, even different color nuances on Han Solo's leather jacket. They're there, they're all there, and they're all very appreciable. Great punch in parts, great natural colors in parts, flesh tones look great, everything looks as it's supposed to. The lightsabers are supposed to be blinding, so that's exactly what they are. You got a sunset scene, the sun setting in this bitch, blinding, as it's supposed to be. HDR implemented very well in this. I didn't notice any black crush in this whatsoever, and the shadow detail is also very, very good here. I didn't get a chance to check the Dolby Vision out because on my TV I got the HDR 10 Plus, right? So I couldn't see it on this, so I can't really tell you, but expect mild improvements at best, I would say. Now, if your girl is still alive because you've been spending 24 hours with her in this quarantine, you tell your girl to sit on the woofer and see what happens. The bass is gonna rock the place. The lightsaber duels is gonna make the vajayjay go crazy. Bars. Thunderous bass in parts of this, great surround sound effects, great vocals, great mid-range, and great bass response overall. I didn't really notice much overhead, and I had to crank up the volume a little. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's Dolby Atmos, we already know. Music just envelops the room as it should, it's Star Wars. You wanna hear the theme songs in this bitch. So in that respect, it really is the best sound you're gonna get on this release. It's much better than the 1080p for sure. It sounded pretty much the same as the digital, didn't sound any better, didn't sound any more detailed, sounded pretty much the same. I guess there were a few overheads during some of the Millennium Falcon scenes, but nothing to write home about. This isn't a Atmos-like experience, but it's a very, very decent surround sound experience. And there we have it, people. The Force Awakens. I'm going to give the movie itself an 8.5, 8.6 because I did enjoy it. I'm going to give the picture quality about an 8.5, and I'm going to give the audio quality about a 7.8. It's a great disc, but then the question becomes, I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me, look, I've got Disney Plus, do I need to pick it up on 4K? And from what I've seen so far, if I'm talking Jedi Skywalker in this, very, very close to the 4K counterpart in digital, you know? So the question then becomes, do you want to spend money in buying the disc? Chances are, if you like the physical disc and you want that extra 10 to 15% visual quality, then you're going to go for the disc, and this is a moot point. But if you are on the fence with this, I think Disney Plus do a great job. You know, and it's got Dolby Vision on there. Do you know what I mean? Which the disc doesn't have, so it's, you know, I don't think you can go wrong either way. But then again, with the disc, you own that shit, you know, so I get it. And finally, people, please don't expect a review of Cats. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to buy it. You cannot pay me enough money to buy it, and you cannot pay me enough money to watch it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to review it. Yes, if someone gave me the disc for free and said, review this, please, it's not going to happen. Ever. Just letting you guys know. Alright guys, look, this is tough times. I think everyone's feeling the squeeze and everything. Look, whatever it is, I appreciate all the support and everything. If you guys want to support the channel, I've got a Patreon. There's not much there, but if you want to support the channel, that's the way to go. Link in the description. Totally up to you guys. But irrespective of that, love you all, and for God's sakes, take care of yourselves. Subscribe. It's your boy, 4K Rockstar. You already know.